All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. We are starting with a new PlayStation Studios title that has seemingly leaked out, at least somewhat. This was actually reported by MP First, where they say report potential concept art for a new PlayStation action-adventure game featuring intense violence surfaces. So they say here about 2 months ago in May, Movies and Games Insider Daniel RPK shared intriguing details on his Patreon account. The report centered around a casting call for an upcoming PlayStation first-party title with Jamie Balfus, Senior Manager of Casting and Talent at Sony PlayStation Studios Worldwide, listed as the casting director. The casting call was specifically for an action-adventure game that promised intense violence and potential profanity. While the exact title remains a mystery, the project was described as likely to receive an M for Mature rating. 2 roles were up for grabs. His reference models for a salt and pepper gray-haired man between 40 and 60 years old, and a darker brunette woman between 20 and 60 years old. An interesting detail that not many people noticed were the attached images on the casting page. Although these images served as a reference for the characters, they clearly concealed their faces. This is standard practice for hair references, but the interesting part comes when you notice that the character's clothing was also hidden. Could this be an intentional move to keep the game's theme under wraps? Now, before I continue with this article, I have to let you know, I don't know that I'm going to share this image on screen, just in case. This is something that, again, is not supposed to really be made public, and I don't want to risk Sony taking anything down. But what I will say is this MP First article will be linked down in the description below. They have the image here, so you can click on that article and check it out. It says here, continuing with the article, upon closer examination, the reference images reveal some detail on the characters, such as an image of the woman where you can see that her old age is evident from the wrinkles on her neck, while the image of the man portrays him with a bushy beard and curly hair. Now, if you're wondering which studio might be behind this project, we can't do much more than speculate. However, an interesting connection can be made. The casting call took place on May 21st, and just 2 days later, Neil Druckmann, creative director of acclaimed franchise The Last of Us, made a statement about how Naughty Dog's new IP could redefine mainstream perceptions of gaming. Given Naughty Dog's track record with intense and violent titles, could this casting call be linked to their next project? Only time will tell. They say here we're digging deeper into this unannounced PlayStation action-adventure game, and once we know more, we will let our readers know. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to extract from this, except the fact that it's a new action-adventure game. It's going to feature intense violence and profanity, and we have what seems to be concept art with the faces of the characters actually removed. And a lot of people were pointing out that if you look closely at this concept art, this looks very much like Naughty Dog concept art. And I have to agree, if you look at past concept art from Naughty Dog, this falls very much in line with that. And so I think the first thing that people are going to think naturally and understandably is The Last of Us, right? You think about action-adventure, intense violence, intense profanity, you think The Last of Us, but at the same time, there's so little to go off of here that this could be a brand new IP that we're looking at with a brand new set of characters. We don't know if these characters would be the protagonists, if they would be the antagonists, if they would be kind of side characters. There's really so little information given, but it is interesting that we, are at this point with Naughty Dog where people are so eager to figure out what they're doing next. We've had Neil Druckmann straight up confirm multiple times that they're working on multiple single player projects, so we know that for a fact. He's teased out these games, but we have yet to get any type of proper reveal. And because of that, we're not even sure if we can expect a new Naughty Dog game before the end of this generation, which is crazy to think because the last time we got a proper Naughty Dog new game reveal was back in 2016 with The Last of Us Part 2. We did get things like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, as well as The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, but we're talking about a brand new, full-blown game reveal from Naughty Dog. It hasn't happened in a very, very, very long time. And so, you look at something like this and you have to wonder, how far out are we from potentially getting this reveal? Well, we know that The Last of Us multiplayer was in development for a couple of years and ended up getting canceled. So you have to imagine that maybe put Naughty Dog behind a little bit. But the real question is, were they working on something simultaneously? As they were working on this multiplayer project, were they also working on a single player game that maybe is going to be ready to reveal soon? Now, considering this is a casting call, I'm going to say it's probably still a little bit of a ways out. That's just my, gut reaction assumption here, because they don't even have everybody lined up, for the roles of this game. It's also worth noting this might not be a Naughty Dog game. This could be a game from any other PlayStation studio. So it's just one of these things where the only thing we really know is there is a new action adventure game being developed over at PlayStation. It's going to feature violence and profanity. And we have like a single piece of concept art with the faces cut out. So definitely wanted to share this with you. We are kind of at this point with PlayStation where, we're just really wondering, like, when are they going to start announcing and showing off some of these new PlayStation projects? It's hard to say, but guys, I really am going to be curious what you have to say about this. Let me know what you're thinking based off of this concept art. If you click the link down below and you're checking it out yourself, do you think we are looking at Naughty Dog concept art? Do you think this is Naughty Dog's next game? Do you think it's their new game that they've been teasing, or do you think it's coming from a different PlayStation studio? And if so, which studio do you think it's coming from? I'll be really interested to see what you guys have to say about that. But I want to move on to another topic here. We're going to cover this very briefly just to kind of throw this in at the end. I want to let you guys know that Lost Soul Aside, the PlayStation exclusive, is actually confirmed for Chinajoy 2024. A lot of people have been wondering when we're going to see this game again. Well, being reported by Gaming Bolt, says when Sony announced its PlayStation lineup for Chinajoy 2024, two titles were missing: Lost Soul Aside and The Winds Rising. While the latter is up in the air, Yulty Zero Games has confirmed the former's appearance on July 26th. The game's official Twitter revealed that game director Yang Bing would provide an interview. There will also be gameplay, though whether this is new footage remains to be seen. However, at the very least, he could provide updates on the state of development alongside other new details. So just wanted to throw this in here because, again, this is a game that people ask about, and we haven't seen it in quite some time. And there are people who are excited for it, so we don't really know what we're going to get from Lost Soul Aside at Chinajoy. Maybe we'll get a release date, maybe we'll get a new trailer, maybe it will be very underwhelming, and it'll just be footage we've already seen, with just some new information about the progress the game's making. But there you go, it is confirmed. And the last topic I want to let you guys know about very briefly is Valorant now has an official release date on PS5, being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle here. They say Valorant PS5/console release date has apparently been revealed by a known leaker. The game is currently in beta on consoles, but was limited to those who received a code to get in. If you're one of those who didn't make it in, don't worry, because you should be able to play the game on Friday, July 26th, if this leak is to be believed. The aforementioned leak comes from Extus, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, who has a pretty solid reputation. According to them, July 26th will mark the end of the beta and the global console launch of Valorant. Apparently, Riot Games planned a surprise drop, but the leaker was a step ahead of the developer. As a reminder, Valorant is a free-to-play game and is already enjoying a massive player base on PC. From the looks of it, it's going to be the next big free-to-play shooter across all platforms. Trophy hunters will be a tad disappointed to note that Valorant's PS5 trophy list comes without a platinum, which is a little bit disappointing because the set comprises of both tricky and grindy trophies. This is something that I thought was worth mentioning because we know Concord is coming out in August, and I've been saying that I think one of the biggest things that's going to hurt Concord is the fact that it's coming out at around a time when we have multiple other hero shooters. Valorant is a hero shooter, but it's already very popular. And it's coming out like a whole month before Concord. And we also have a game like Marvel Rivals, which has Marvel characters. That's also a hero shooter. Just wanted to let you guys know if you were wondering when Valorant was going to drop on PlayStation 5. Apparently, it's coming in just a couple days. It's going to be a surprise drop. Pretty cool. Let me know if it's something you're interested in playing. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.